Hey guys, thank you so much again for joining us. Today is one of my favorite days. We're going to be talking about wedding dresses. What woman doesn't love putting on these beautiful dresses? If you have been watching, you know exactly what we're doing. If you haven't been watching, this is your first video, welcome. We are so excited for all of you guys to be here and to be joining us on how to plan your perfect wedding. We as vendors definitely know that planning a wedding is not easy. And we are here to help you through that process and make it fun and make it enjoyable for you. So today we have Claire, and she is a mastermind with wedding dresses and just all things of these gowns. So.
Yep, I'm Claire. I'm the sales manager here at Gateway Bridal. I've been here for about 2 years, but I've been doing bridal for about 4 and doing styling for about 15. So I've been doing this for a long time. I love the wedding business, and my favorite part is the dresses. I'm also the store sketch artist, so whenever we do customizations, custom gowns, and when we design our own dresses, I get to be very hands-on, which is so much fun. And really the best part of my job is helping brides come up with their unique dream dress with customization.
And that is honestly what I just love so much about this store, that you don't just have like 50 dresses. You have like thousands, I feel like, of dresses here, and they're a variety of all just price and variety and style, and even from that, like you were just saying before, that they can be customizable.
Yep.
Or like a few of them. Can you say how many do you think could be customizable?
I would say about half of our gowns can be customized, and then depending on timeline, which of those we can work with. Some of them take a little longer for customizing. Some of them it's our normal timeline to customize, which we always love. But yeah, we really try to have a great variety, so we can kind of get a little bit for everybody here.
That's awesome. And then for brides, what do you want them to know before they come in? Like what's that, and then like the client process from them walking in through the door, what should they know before, then what should they know when they're in here?
Perfect. Most important thing to know beforehand is your wedding date. I know that we don't always know exactly when, but even having a month is really helpful. Just be aware that a lot of our vendors make our gowns to order. So they're not being cut, they're not sitting in a warehouse somewhere in your size, they're waiting until you come in and say, I'm this size and I need this dress at this color, because there's so many options and so many customizations, but also because it's specialty fabrics, they really don't start that process. So you need to know that you'll want some time. We say 3 to 8 months is probably best to get your gown in. Most dresses take between 2 and 6 months to make. So if you have that 3 to 8 months kind of minimum engagement, you'll get more variety the longer you have. If you want to do a shorter engagement, just be aware that your stylist isn't limiting you to be mean or anything. They're really limiting you so that you don't fall in love with something we can't get for you. It's hard for you and it's hard for us as the stylist when you go, I really am in love with this, and we go, it's coming after your wedding and there's nothing I can do and I am so sorry. Another good thing to know beforehand is think about a budget. Most places you can call and ask where your prices start, where your prices end, and that way you're not surprised when you come in and try on some gowns. I know that there are gowns that go up into the tens of 30s of thousands. Here we go up to about $3,000. That's not surprising if you have a $3,000 budget, but if you have a $500 budget, and then we show you the $3,000 gowns, that's a hard thing. So
we don't want any heartbroken brides.
No, we don't want any heartbroken brides. And we do have a wide variety so we can accommodate you, but you have to be honest and open with your stylist. Knowing what you want beforehand sometimes can be beneficial and sometimes is totally detrimental, because then you start trying dresses on and you go, oh, I thought I wanted a ball gown, but I'm not liking them. And then you're heartbroken because this dream isn't being fulfilled. Or you go, I wanted a sheath dress, but I'm looking great in this mermaid my mom made me try on, and then you get conflicted. So having an idea is great, but being 100% set sometimes is detrimental to you. You want to be open-minded to a lot of things. I guess the last thing to keep in mind is that you want to look nice when trying on dresses. I know that when I go out and try on clothes, if my hair's not done and my makeup's not on,
not gonna feel
I don't feel
Nope.
good. And it's double important for our bridal gowns because you don't want to sit up there and go, I look a mess today, because you're not going to feel good in your dress.
Exactly.
You don't have to do your wedding makeup and do your hair all up and up to, but you want to
Spend
feel
time
nice.
to get ready and put on these gorgeous dresses.
Yes, because if you don't feel pretty, you're
won't
not going to
matter
feel
of
pretty.
how gorgeous that
no
looks
matter
on
what
you,
the dress
it won't
is.
matter.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think that's my number one
All
tip.
women know that.
Yes. Yes. It should be pretty standard that you'll know. But everyone else in the room will know that you're pretty and you just won't
Right.
feel it. And it
How
doesn't matter.
do you feel about brides bringing family members, friends? Do you feel like there's a number that's too many or a number that's too low, or is it just really just how do you feel about that?
Half of it depends on the bride. Some brides are like, no, I like to make this decision alone, and so bringing no one is never a bad thing. But sometimes you bring no one and you go, I really wish I had that reassurance,
Right.
so I'm not second guessing myself. So know yourself. I would say we have cute little viewing areas. They have this little couch.
No,
they
I'm
have
like,
two
gonna
little
take this couch
stools.
home with me.
You know, isn't it adorable? But it really doesn't fit more than like 2, maybe 3 people.
Yeah.
We say to bring 4 or fewer. Now, all different stores have different limits of what you can bring, but I'll also let you know the more voices you have in the pot, the more people are going to be throwing in their opinions. And sometimes that gets really confusing and sometimes it gets really loud. So if you're going to do an appointment with a whole bunch of people, you might want to make a return appointment so you can hear your own thoughts, and just bring 1 or 2 people that you know are going to be the most supportive, that aren't going to go, well, you asked me to come here, so you need to listen to my opinion.
And everyone just has like so many different styles. Like I might think something looks absolutely gorgeous on them, but somebody else might think like, oh no, I don't think it works.
Oh yeah.
So, what is the process of the brides walking in that front door? So how does that all go?
Okay, when you walk in the front door, you'll be greeted by our receptionist. You'll give her your name and she'll have you fill out a card with a whole bunch of information. Then your stylist is going to get that card, see your wedding date, see if you're taking bridal photos, and then come up with the best sections to show you based on date and your clothing size, so she can take you on a personalized tour and show you the best sections. We have you stay in the front during that section. During that process, because we don't want you again to fall in love with something that we can't get on time, that we don't have in your size, whether it's too big or too small. So we really just have you wait until your stylist, who is filled with information, comes and grabs you. Then you'll have a little one-on-one interview. She'll want to know a little bit more about your wedding day, where you're getting married, what venue, if you want a certain feeling. Are you doing boho? Are you doing black tie? Are you doing something in between? And then she'll ask about style preferences. If you've tried on dresses and you're saying you have these preferences because you know, because this is what you tried on, or you've just looked at photos and you're hoping that this is what you like on you, but are you open to suggestions elsewhere? Then we'll give you a tour of the showroom and have you start with only about 5 or 6 dresses, partially because that's what fits in the room nicely, and partially because that's how many can stick in your brain at once.
Right, not just be completely overwhelmed and just
too many dresses at once you're looking at, you start to forget which one's which. So then throughout the try-on process, we'll ask you what you like, what you don't like, and then your stylist will pull a couple of her favorites based on your previous just feedback and hope to help you find something you love a little more. And at the end, hopefully you have 1 or 2 favorites she'll have you retry on, and that's when we play dress up. We get the veils and the headband and the jewelry, and see if you can really visualize yourself as a bride on your wedding day with your fiance. Hopefully you can, and we've done our job really well and you're having a great experience, and then we'll go ahead and get your dress ordered for you. Before we can get that done, do expect to be measured, because that needs to happen.
Well, yeah,
so we get your right size. Yeah, you want your dress to fit. And then most stores I've noticed have a similar policy that at least half gown wants to be paid. So that's something to keep in mind when you're going to a dress store. That you'll want to have at least half down of whatever you say your budget is.
That is amazing. How do you feel about Pinterest? Have you had any brides come in and be like, these are the dresses I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be exact, but like style.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
We love Pinterest. Like if you can
doesn't?
come in and be like, this is my Pinterest board, these are my colors, this is my cake. Like we get to know you better with that visual. It's really hard for me to say, hey, I'm Claire and this is who I am.
Right.
But if I have a board for you, I can say, hey, I'm Claire and this is all the things I like. It's so wonderful. Sometimes when you have Pinterest and you find that one dress, it's hard to recreate, especially if it's not a dress we carry in store.
Right.
Now sometimes girls go, I found these dresses, are they from your store? And I go, yes, and then I can go pull them for you and go, these are the actual dresses.
The best thing ever.
But on occasion we'll have a girl come in and they found one dress on Pinterest, it's the only one they like, it's the only one they want to try on. And while we may have something similar or things that we can customize to be very, very close, when we don't have that exact one, they leave disappointed.
Right.
So Pinterest is a little bit of that two-edged sword, but for the most part, we really love seeing your Pinterest.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing, and she's actually going to show us some of her dresses right now.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's get started.